Here she is, Rocket 3 Roadster 2010. Welcome. Friday, 9th of April. I'm Nick Wilkins, this is Motorcycle Diaries. Been a bit manic recently as I made with the move and getting everything sorted, but we're back on track, my friends. Back to daily diaries. And today, I am going to be taking this back to Triumph in Hinckley. Let's talk about the bike. Now, I've had it for, what has it been, about 3 weeks now. And it is the world's most powerful production vehicle. 2.3 litre engine, 212 Newton meters torque at the back wheel, which is ridiculous. And someone's saying it's a 50% increase from last year, but twice as much as something like the R1's got. Now, you're also looking at a 370 kilo body weight on this. But the Roadster, as I mentioned before, is designed with a slightly more upright frame. Your feet aren't as far forward, so it's almost like a kind of naked street fighter, but with the most ridiculous engine you've ever ridden on the back of a bike in before. Just to give you an idea of how powerful it is, another new thing is this exhaust system, 3-into-2 instead of the 3-into-3 before. Let's have a little look, listen to what it sounds like. It's one of the best sounding bikes in the world. The only reason I'm not revving it more is we have offices here behind Kerrang Towers, and that's the great thing. It is Friday. Look at the sun, my friends. I'm going to head to Hinckley, drop this off at the Triumph factory, and I've fallen in love with this bike. I've had it for 3 weeks. I love the old Rocket 3. I know there's many different types of cruisers, you know, or even like this, almost like a Roadster style kind of like naked street bike. But what I like about these Triumph bikes, this and the Thunderbird, I say as well, is I love Harleys, love the style, of the panache, of the sound, but you know, they're nice to ride and you cruise around with, but that's what they're designed for. These things have an engine, specifically the Rocket 3 Roadster. The performance on it is ridiculous, like as in mind-blowing, you make you laugh like a little child. And you know, I suppose when you buy a motorbike, that's part of what I want. As much as the practicality inside of me says I want a bike that I can ride every day and everything like that, well, these contain that element, but they have that slight madness attached to it as well, which I think is almost vital for any motorbike or any kind of superbike. That kind of thing, if you buy a supercar, half of it's being bought with your inner child, isn't it? It's the same with bikes. And the great thing that I can say about this is it is usable every day. It's just so much fun to ride. And it's one of those bikes that I've said all along, ever since I rode the Rocket 3 originally, I'd like to have a Rocket 3 in my ideal kind of free bike garage. I think this one will replace the old one just because it's that little bit more nimble, more upright. But anyway, listen, I'm going to stop talking, get on the bike, get some decent helmet footage. I'm going to be on the motorways and stuff, so I won't be able to talk too much, but I'll just get some nice footage and then I'll get to Triumph and let you know what my feelings are then. See you in a bit. Okay, Rocket 3 Roadster 2010, here we go. One of my favourite bikes on the planet. The old one was, as I said, this one's made a hell of an impression. If anything, it's that easier to ride and throw around a little bit, but still with that stupid engine. First things first, you buy one of these, get yourself some aftermarket cans, because although these sound great, honestly the potential for noise this engine's got is possibly the best in the world. The only thing I've heard that can go near it with like aftermarket cans, and it's a Thunderbird, also a Triumph. What can I say about this? Look at, to start with, all the layout of the dials and everything are pretty sound special. Nice and easy for you. You've got analog speedo here, Odo, fuel tank, range computer, which is amazing. All the usual kind of like finger controls. Love these kind of teardrop wing mirrors. But this bike is all about the riding experience and the engine. Now, a lot of people, when the Rocket 3 first came out, thought it was just a bit of an engine or not much of a chassis. Triumph have really learned in the last few years how to build powerful bikes that can handle. Look at the Thunderbird. Look at this. And I've got to admit, this is a great riding experience. Oh, it's so nice to be riding in the sun now as well. What this bike does that no other cruiser, as much as like when I ride Harleys and things like that, and I love riding my Harleys, it makes you feel cool and stuff. What this bike does is it makes you feel like a little kid. No matter who you are, no matter how old you are, when you open up that right throttle, with your right hand even, wow. That's all I'm saying. Now, I'm going to go get some fuel, so I'm going to come off here, and then I'm going to head out a little bit further. Rock on, Rocket 3! Woo! Okay, she's just proven herself as just the most amazing bike to cruise the motorway. Put it in top, so much torque, flick between lanes, lovely. Now I'm hitting a natty road for about a kind of 15-20 mile stretch, the A5. I just can't think of anything I'd rather be riding in the sun. You know, obviously I love my sports bikes and everything, but this has that ridiculous performance while you're in a sitting position, and not just, to say, the cruise position of the old one, much more upright in this. You feel more in control, and it's just so nice. And my God, you get looked at, even without cans on. That's why. Nice lean angle. One of the things I really like about this bike as well is I'm sitting here doing 30 gear and you know, just at these speeds, relaxing, I say it's so easy to ride. You wouldn't know that you're on like one of the most powerful production vehicles ever made. You really wouldn't. It's just lovely and manageable. It's not going to get into third even. So much torque there that, you know, you just cruise around, it's great. And then when you want to, you just decide to unleash the most ridiculous motorbike engine ever. Now, compare that to like a sports bike for instance, you know, where as much as you love getting fast, you're always in that riding position, you're always feeling on edge. I really think the Rocket 3 is an outrageous bike. I've said that all along, it's one of my favourite bikes that ever made. It's kind of like Concord, the pinnacle of what can be achieved in a certain genre. But I think that this just makes it a little bit more manageable, a little bit more practical, it looks a bit nicer. That was a real winner, man, a real winner. Simply wow, yowzers. Oh, what a fun ride. That was like 45 minutes nipping up here to Hinckley. I can't tell you how much fun this bike is. Now, okay, I have a love affair with anything like the Rocket 3s anyway. I've always thought they're amazing. I think this one was the best one yet. I've ridden the Tourer, the kind of classic, the standard. This is the new Roadster. Honestly, I couldn't think of a better bike, a more fun bike to ride in the sun. I love my sports bikes, I love my cruisers, I love all different types of bikes, enduro bikes, the lot. But this is one that really does cross so many barriers because, yeah, you know, you look at it, what, it's about 10 grand, isn't it, for one of these, 11, brand new, okay? It's a slightly more, as I've mentioned, that kind of Roadster style, being a little more upright, not having the peg so far forward, does make it a lot easier to ride, a lot easier to manage. But there's just, do you know what, I'm going to stop talking about that and just tell you what it's like to ride a Rocket. There is nothing like a Rocket. It's the only bike I know where you're going along at, say, I don't know, 70 on the motorway, and you're in fourth gear, and you just turn the right hand, and you feel the amount of torque that's going through that back wheel, and it makes you feel so alive because you're riding that torque, and yet, you know, it is manageable. Don't be wrong, if you just try and whack it open, you're an idiot because it's got 212 newton meters of torque on that back wheel. And obviously having such a big profile back wheel is amazing, but they've really got it right this year. It handles so nice. I mean, look at that back profile. Wicked. It handles brilliantly. You know, a lot of people might not like the styling or the looks of it, but I really, really do. It appeals to me, and nothing can beat that engine. The brakes are good. I love my Harleys, but they're completely different. You want a bike to sit on and cruise. I love almost the cruisers, even Japanese ones, that's got that real power, that's got that real edge. And I don't mean like the Japanese cruisers. I haven't ridden the big engine ones, but the 800s and things like that, nah. This is an amazing machine. 2.3 litres of power, and it's one of those ones that I would say to anyone, go out and test ride one because there is nothing like it on the market. And I guarantee if you go out and ride one of these, as soon as you get a chance to open that right hand, this is what you'll be doing. Maniacal laughter. So if you want something like that in your life that's practical, you could use every day. But if you ask me, it looks so much nuts in that classic motor styling way. But it has that X factor, that engine, a 2.3 litre engine, pistons the same size as a Dodge Viper supercar. The power, the torque, the sound as well when you get aftermarket cans on it. I want to buy one. Anyway, here I am at Triton's head offices, and then one of their factory one that's massive, as you can see. I've had a wicked tour around here as well. I'm going to take this one back now and see what they've got for me next. Hopefully they've got me something, otherwise it's a long walk home. See you in a bit.